transit of, okay, we need the circulation of your body, good. Okay, Becca.
An action word.
Okay, so it can be an action word. It's a word that shows action or what else, John Carter?
I was going to say it's a word that shows action in the sentence.
It does. There's one other thing, and I'm thinking about linking verb.
Or an idea.
No,
Oh.
ideas
Oh.
are in the noun category, so there's something else.
State of being.
State of being. It's this nerdy little phrase, state of being. So if you could write that down, that the definition is a word that shows action or state of being. And you guys have learned lots and lots of verbs. When you find your subject-verb pairs in a sentence, some people actually think finding the verb first is the easiest thing, and it is if it's an action verb. So you've learned 4 types, and you may be glad to know we're not going to go as deep into the types as you have with Grammar Revolution, but what is a transitive verb? Dominic.
It's like a word that transfers action.
Transfers action. Okay, so you can write down a verb that transfers action to a direct object. So write that down. Okay, Matt, you've already written this definition, and now we're here.
Wait, what is,
Transitive.
what is it right again?
A verb that transfers action to a direct object. Could you not drop your notebook on the floor, please? That's for all of you. Okay, a word that transfers action to a direct object. Okay, so what is an intransitive verb? What makes sense then? Mariah.
Intransitive, I guess the verb that doesn't transfer action.
It doesn't transfer action. I think an easy way to remember that is as a verb with no direct object. It's an action verb with no direct object. Put a verb without a direct object. And I'd actually like for you to bracket transitive and intransitive and just write action out to the side. Those are the verbs that show action.
What were you going to do?
You're bracketing transitive and intransitive and writing action. So those are our action verbs. So then we have helping verbs. Addison, what's a helping verb?
It helps the main verb, like, explain the action.
Yeah, it's hard to define a helping verb without using the word helping. John Carter?
It's a verb that modifies the main verb alongside.
Okay, it does not modify.
I mean,
I'm
it
just
doesn't-
going to say it's a verb that assists a main verb. If you want to remember, it helps a main verb, but a helping verb assists a main verb. It's always used with another verb. Okay, now this is old for you guys, but let's see. Here's a little blast from the past. Can you guys sing the helping verb song?
Yeah.
Okay, so
3, 2, 1.
Helping verbs, there are 23. Am, is, are, was, and were, being, been, and be. Has, had, do, does, did, shall, should, will, and would. There are 5 more helping verbs, may, might, must, can, could.
well, and you guys like carried the tune and you remembered it. Maybe not Aiden and Matt. Okay, so here's this little, I'm going to make a copy of this for those of you that didn't get this in 6th grade. But that was very impressive. Helping verbs, right out to the side, can't be used alone. They're what contribute to a verb phrase. Yes, Andrew.
Are there 23 or 22?
It says there are 23.
I heard someone say 22. I was like,
I'm just going with the song. I'm just trying to be consistent with what you've had already, okay? Tracy. Some of them are linking verbs. I'm sorry. Helping verbs have to be with a verb, but some of them are linking verbs. And that's the last definition I want you guys to write down, is that a linking verb shows being, not being, B-E-I-N-G. A linking verb shows being between the subject and the predicate, adjective, or predicate nominative. Just write P-A/P-N. Okay, so shows being between the subject and the predicate nominative or predicate adjective. P-N/P-A. Okay, and you guys, we've said this before, a linking verb is like an equal sign. So whatever comes after it is describing or renaming the subject. For linking, okay? So like I just wrote a little equal sign out to that. Andrew, did you get it all?
What's helping again?
A helping is a verb that assists a main verb.
So in linking, all I want us to put is shows being between the subject and the PA at the end.
Mhm. And if you want to put an equal sign, that's fine. Now, some of these are helping verbs and linking verbs. So am, are, is, was, were, be, being, been, all those to be verbs, those are also helping verbs. So you just have to see how it's being used. There's some other linking verbs. What are some of the weird helping verbs? Linking verbs that are not a to be verb? Do you guys remember some of those? Dominic?
I guess like would. and
Am?
shall.
Am?
No, it's like
Okay.
sensation things.
Oh,
Tastes, seems, grows, okay?
Smells.
If it's a word that can be replaced with a to be verb, then it is serving as a
Oh, do you mean
linking
like
verb.
something like it's like it like that's growing on me as in like is that what
No,
you're
that
saying?
would be an action verb.
No. I mean like not like actually like growing, but like the way he acts is growing on me. Because like
Like
that's not
getting
actually
used to it.
action because that's like something
No,
like
that is
mentally.
action.
That's what we call a colloquialism. It's just like I know. It's like a figure of speech where it's not literal, it means something.
Colloquial.
Colloquialism.
Bless you.
Okay, I'm not going to give that to you to take notes, but sometimes what you're saying is verbs can be a figure of speech. They can mean something else, and that's right, but that's not a linking verb. Okay, so the fun thing about verbs, is there anybody in here that likes to conjugate verbs?
No. It's like in what?
Can anybody tell me what does it mean to conjugate a verb? Anybody?
To list
Okay,
it out.
go-
To list it out, it's all of its parts.
Okay, to list all of its verb parts, Tracy?
That was what I was going to say.
Okay, the verb parts, and typically when you're conjugating, you're trying to show the sense of time.
The
So
simple
verbs
perfect
help us understand the time of when something happens. But there are 5 principal parts. And you guys, how much of this did I write down for you all?
All of
Oh,
it.
I was so nice. Look at this. Okay, you're gonna add some things to this. So principal parts are the building blocks for verb tense. And you need to know these. You know what infinitive is, but let's just say it. Josie, what's an infinitive?
Like to plus the verb.
Yeah, and we're gonna do infinitives after Thanksgiving. It's easy to get infinitives confused with prepositional phrases because to can be a preposition, but it's to plus a verb, it's an infinitive. Okay, then present tense, or the present part, sorry, these aren't tenses, present part, past part, and then you have past participles. Now, participles are gonna be really important. So it's just a verb plus ed, and a present participle is a verb plus ing.
We're finally seeing how Latin kind of helps you in grammar.
Can I tell you now that have a daughter that's done Latin and Spanish? Latin really helps. I don't like Latin, but I understand how it helps you organize language in your mind, and it helps the instruction of other languages much better. So we're going to be doing conjugation in English, and you guys know that because you've been in Latin. Josie.
Why is the past and the past participle, like, why do they look the same?
That's a really good question. So what I'm trying to do is say you have 5 parts, and then the way that you use them is what forms the verb tenses. Okay? Now, they look the same if it's a regular verb, but if it's an irregular verb, they don't look the same. So we're going to talk about irregular verbs for a minute. Past always adds ed. Past participle is ed. A present participle is always ing. But I'm going to show you guys. Oh wait, what did I give you? Wrong thing. Let's do that. Oh gosh. Here we go. Okay, so we're just going to go through some common irregular. Have you ever been in a conversation and said, last week I swam or I swung? Have you ever tried to debate whether I swang or I swung?
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't, because those things don't matter to you, but that's what has to do, hold on. Oh, you guys, I know what happened. Hold on, pass it forward. this collated, and it wasn't supposed to collate.
So I pass this one?
Pass it forward. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you, it's gonna take advanced directions. There are 2 sheets, so you need to pull 12 verb tenses and common irregular. So you have that. Okay, let me just walk it around. Make sure you should have 2 sheets. Just look at it, Andrew.
Am I supposed to?
12 verb tenses, common irregular, and we're gonna do the common irregular.
Am I supposed to?
I was hoping it would print these 2 separately, and it collated them, so they're all mixed up. But we're looking at the common irregular. Okay? Which is, you're not passing it, you've got 2 sheets.
Oh, sorry.
One is a homework sheet, and one,
Which one's homework?
so
I can
we're looking
label
at
it.
the common irregular, and we're looking at the front side. And we're gonna do this together, I do not want this to be homework. Okay, does everybody have 2 sheets of 12 verb tense and common irregular? No, you need common irregular, and you probably need, yes. Okay, so we're just gonna focus for a minute about principal parts. And so if you look across the top, it says infinitive, present past, present participle, past participle. So, to be, am, are, is, those are all present. Past, was, were. Present participle, being. And past participle, been. Now, Josie, to go back to your question, anytime you see a present participle verb, it's going to have a to be verb with it. I am, is, or are being. And past participle will always have a form of had. Okay? So begin, began, began, beginning, begun. So break, let's do this. The present tense is break. What would be the past tense, Charlotte? So we're writing these in. Today I break the vase. Yesterday what would be the past tense? Broke. Okay. Today I am breaking. Okay, and in the past, I have broken. So here's what I want you to see on that. The past and the past participle can be different. So when you're like a language guru, which I'm not expecting of you all, you actually just memorize the principal parts so you know. So let's do this next one. Matt, what's the present tense of to choose?
Chose.
Choose. Today I choose. Okay, today I choose to eat lunch in my room.
Is it on the last one, is it I have broke?
Have broken. Have broken. Now we're doing this because this is going to be a resource for your next paper and also your mini thesis. So please listen. I know some of you are like, I can fill it in, I can do it myself, but make sure you're also checking it against the right answers. So Josie, what would be the past tense of to choose? So yesterday I chose. So it's chose.
It's just one.
Mm-hmm.
Is that spelled any different from choose?
Yeah, it is.
Is it just one O?
So it's just one O. So chose. Present tense was choose. Now, I'm going to tell you, for right now, it's very easy, and you can do this on the own. Present participle is just always going to be the word plus ing. There's nothing terribly irregular about that. So, am choosing. But then what would be the past participle? In the past, I have what, Hudson? Chosen. Okay. Chosen. Okay, let's do the next one. To come. Aiden, what's the present tense of to come?
The present tense?
Uh-huh. Yeah, Leah, what's the past tense of come? Came. Present participle, am coming. And then what would be the past participle of to come? Ian?
Past participle to come. Past participle.
In the past, I have,
I came. Oh no, that sounds so.
I have come. So isn't that weird? The past participle actually uses the present form. So the good news in this is that it really is a sound like. There's a couple of these where I'll have to clarify, but most of it is a sound like. Okay,
Is it I am coming?
I am coming, or am coming. We're not doing pronouns yet. Okay, so do. There are two present tenses of do. Amelia, what do you think they are?
Present,
Uh-huh.
do, and,
She, how would you say, I do my homework, she does. So do does. And then yesterday I blanked my homework. Tracy? Did. Okay. I am doing my homework. And then in the past I have done. So you guys see, kind of instinctively you know these, but I want you to see how they separate. Okay, we're gonna keep going. So to, Charlotte?
What's the, past participle for to choose?
Chosen.
Is it have chosen or just choose?
Have chosen. So what I did is I just did like quotation marks under have. You don't have to recopy have every single time or draw an arrow as long as you see that. Okay, Becca, on to draw. What is the present tense? Today I
Drew or draw?
I draw. Today, like right now in the present, or she what? There's two. Draws. So draws goes under present. Yesterday, Mariah, I drew. I am drawing. Okay, Leah, in the past I have drawn. So past is drew, past participle is drawn. Let me make sure you spell that right. Okay, this one's fun to drink. What's the present tense, Matt?
Drink.
Drink. What's the past tense, Josie?
Drank.
Drank. Yesterday I drank. Okay, I am drinking. And then in the past I have, Alex?
I thought it was drank, but maybe it was drunk.
It's drunk. It's drunk, yes. In the past I have drunk. So that's where it gets a little bit tricky. It's that swam, swum, drank, drunk. So it's drunk is the past tense. Okay, to eat, Tracy, what's the present tense? Eat, eats. And then what's the past tense, Amelia? Yesterday I ate. I am eating. Okay, in the past I have what, Addison? Eaten. Okay, good. Okay, the next one, Aiden?
The to drink thing, I'm confused on like the whole.
So present drink, past drank, past participle have drunk. Okay. Okay, to fly. Okay, Hudson, what's present tense? Fly. And all of these, you can just imagine, I fly, he flies, so that the S form, the plural form is there. Okay, past tense, Charlotte? Flew. And then Mariah, in the past I have,
wait, do we do present participle or are we doing?
I'm just kind of skipping that right now.
I would say have flown.
I have flown. Okay, how many people are flying for Thanksgiving? Anybody?
I was going
Wait,
to
sorry.
Go to,
Nobody?
I was gonna go to Iceland, but then COVID
I always
happened.
have it at home.
Really?
Yeah, my dad wanted me to see the Northern Lights for Thanksgiving. So instead we're here eating a turkey.
Okay, I'm just so curious. Okay, I just want anybody that flies to report back, but nobody from this class. Okay, Becca?
Wait, what was the past and past participle?
To fly.
Yes.
Flew is the past. Have flown is the past participle. Okay, we're only doing one page of this, okay? This is a little mind-numbing. Aiden, what's present tense of to forget? Forget, what's past tense? Forgot. Okay, Andrew, what would be the past participle? In the past, I have,
Have forgotten.
forgotten. Okay, so a lot of these you're gonna see they end up adding an in to the end. I have forgotten. Okay, to freeze.
What was the present part?
Am forgetting. I'm not giving you those, you can just write those in. Okay, to freeze, so Leah, what's present tense of to freeze? And what's past tense? Froze. And Addison, what is past participle? In the past, it has
Frozen.
frozen. So again, we've got an in.
Wait, what
frozen.
about I am freezing?
I am freezing. I'm just skipping that right now, but I am
Oh.
freezing. That one, what I'm saying is with present participles, there's really nothing irregular. The reason these are called irregular verbs is because the past and the past participle are different,
Gotcha.
okay? In regular verbs, the past and past participle are the same. It's just an ED. Okay, to give, Tracy, what's present tense? Give. What's past tense, Becca? Gave. And Ian, what is past participle?
Give,
Okay, in the past, I have
I have given.
given. So there's another one that ends with in, given. Okay, now to go. Amelia, what's the present tense? Go goes. Hudson, what's past tense? What's the past tense of to go? Yesterday I blank to the store. Went. And then in the past I have blank skiing. Mariah. I have gone. Okay, and then John Carter, what's the present tense of to hit? Hit. Okay, so today I hit my head. Okay, Aiden, yesterday I hit my head. Dominic, in the past I have blank my head. Okay, so this one's really weird. It's just hit. It's the same all the way across.
Okay, except for Anthony.
Except for the hitting. Yeah, but I'm from the present, past, past participle. They're all the same form.
It sounds kind of weird being I am hit.
Yeah.
Was hit.
I don't think you say it, or it depends. I hit the ball. I am hit by a meteor.
I am hitting.
I am, oh yes, heaven forbid, but yes, that would be, okay. To keep, Tracy, what's the present tense? Keep, what's the past tense, Matt? Kept. Dominic, what's the past participle? Kept, have kept. Okay, we're gonna stop with that. Mind numbing, but I want you to see this, okay? Participles are important. Present participle, past participle.
That was lots of fun.
Was that not lots of fun? Okay, now, we are going to watch a video.
Movie.
You will be rewarded with a video. So this is just talking about verb tenses, and then I will talk about the last part of your sheet. Could somebody hit the lights for me?
He has hit.
And Andrew and Dominic, can you make sure those shades are? Okay.
Andrew,
This
this
is
way.
just a little 4 minutes.
Andrew, yeah.
Uh-oh, hold on.
Grammatical tense is how languages talk about time without it.
Okay, hold on. Is the green light on?
Yeah, it's blinking.
Okay, let's just let it warm up.
Yeah, that's it.
Explicitly naming time periods by instead modifying verbs to specify when action occurs. So how many different tenses are there in a language like English? At first, the answer seems obvious. There's past, present, and future. But thanks to something called grammatical aspect, each of those time periods actually divides further. There are 4 kinds of aspect. In the continuous or progressive aspect, the actions are still happening at the time of reference. The perfect aspect describes actions that are finished. The perfect progressive aspect is a combination, describing a completed part of a continuous action. And finally, there's the simple aspect, the basic form of the past, present, and future tense, where an action is not specified as continuous or discrete. That's all a little hard to follow, so let's see how it works in action. Let's say your friends tell you they went on a secret naval mission to collect evidence of a mysterious sea creature. The tense sets the overall frame of reference in the past, but within that, there are many options. Your friends might say a creature attacked their boat. That's the past simple, the most general aspect, which gives no further clarification. They were sleeping when it happened, a continuous process underway at that point. They might also tell you they had departed from Nantucket to describe an action completed even earlier. That's an example of the past perfect. Or that they had been sailing for 3 weeks, something that was ongoing up until that point. In the present, they tell you that they still search for the creature today, their present simple activity. Perhaps they are preparing for their next mission continuously as they speak, and they have built a special submarine for it, a completed achievement. Plus, if they have been researching possible sightings of the creature, it's something they've been doing for a while and are still doing now, making it present perfect progressive. So what does this next mission hold? You know it still hasn't happened because they will depart next week, the future simple. Your friends will be searching for the elusive creature, an extended continuous undertaking. They tell you the submarine will have reached uncharted depths a month from now. That's a confident prediction about what will be achieved by a specific point in the future, a point at which they will have been voyaging for 3 weeks in the future perfect progressive. The key insight to all these different tenses is that each sentence takes place in a specific moment, whether it's past, present, or future. The point of aspects is that they tell you, as of that moment, the status of the action. In total, they give us 12 possibilities in English. What about other languages? Some, like French, Swahili, and Russian, take a similar approach to English. Others describe and divide time differently. Some have fewer grammatical tenses, like Japanese, which only distinguishes past from non-past. Buli and Tukongbesi, which only distinguish future from non-future. And Mandarin Chinese, with no verb tenses at all, only aspect. On the other hand, languages like Yagwa split past tense into multiple degrees, like whether something happened hours, weeks, or years ago. In others, tenses are intertwined with moods that convey urgency, necessity, or probability of events. This makes translation difficult, but not impossible. Speakers of most languages without certain tenses can express the same ideas with auxiliary words like would or did, or by specifying the time they mean. Are the variations from language to language just different ways of describing the same fundamental reality? Or do their diverse structures reflect different ways of thinking about the world, and even time itself? And if so, what other ways of conceiving time may be out there? TED-Ed is a nonprofit. If you value our work, please consider supporting it on patreon.com/TED-Ed.
So, let me tell you guys, it was short, it was sweet, but the takeaway, could you get the lights, Amelia, are 12 verb tenses. Now, look here, there's a couple things I want you to write down, if you're still awake. Okay, so, I have not found a way to make verb tenses easy to understand. And yet they are so important. So we're going to try yet a third way this year. In the past, I've had students make poster boards and do group presentations. Matt, you need this out. Okay, so trying that video. So let's look at this. I want you to understand this chart. Everybody should have it out. You're going to write some things down on it. Alex, you need this. So going down on the left-hand side is your basic time. Present, past, future. That's your time. So can you bracket that to the side and write time? So right here on the side, you're just going to bracket. This shows you the time. Present, past, future, right here. Okay, guys, you're bracketing this, and you're just writing time. That's what present, past, and future is showing. Now, across the top, what is this showing? They said it in the video. What are these things called? Simple, perfect, progressive, perfect, progressive. No? Starts with an A. Aspects. So you're going to write aspects. So you put time and you put aspects together and you get verb tenses. So, simple. Simple is so well named. It's simple. Today he walks. Yesterday he walked. Tomorrow he will walk. Does everybody see that? Yeah. Okay, give me a little bit of focus. Andrew, look at the sheet. Now, perfect. Here's what I want you to write down under perfect. Under that column, I want you to write completed action. At the bottom of this column, right here, you're going to write completed action. That's how you remember perfect. It is called perfect because the action has been completed. Maybe it started in the past, and it was completed in the past. Maybe it started in the past and it's completed in the present. Or maybe it hasn't even started yet, but it's gonna be completed in the future. So, present perfect, he has walked. He started in the past and he finished in the past. Okay? Past perfect, he had walked. Future perfect, he will have walked. Okay? I'm sorry, present is it started in the past and it's completed in the present. Okay? Progressive. Now this is the one, put a star by progressive, because this is what we're really going to focus on. These are to be verbs plus a present participle. And at the bottom of the column, I want you to write down ongoing action. Right here, third column, progressive. You're writing ongoing action.
What do you got here?
Well, you have aspects. Nothing here, ongoing action. So this is something that's continuous. Completed action. Okay? And so, no, I think it's pretty straightforward. It's just an event. So under progressive, this shows something that is ongoing. He is walking today. He is walking. Yesterday, he was walking. Tomorrow, he will be walking. Okay? So it's ongoing. The reason it's so important is because I told you that it's easy to have too many ing words, and this is one of them, a progressive verb. And then the last one, perfect progressive. Oh, I really despise this form, but right at the bottom, it's a completed ongoing action.
How does that work?
How is that possible? It's a completed ongoing action. So you might say, today, he has been walking. He has been walking since 8 o'clock this morning. Okay, so it's been ongoing, but it's completed. So the past, he had been walking. Yesterday, he had been walking when he was hit by a car. Okay, it was a continuous action that was completed, or interrupted as it is. Okay, and then future, he will have been walking. Tomorrow, when he finishes exercising, he will have been walking 100 miles this month. Okay, so it was continuous and it's finished in the future. Okay, so that's all I want to say. I want to jump into that pool and I want to jump out. Here's what I'm going to have you guys do. We're going to start applying this to writing, but this sheet, 12 verb tenses. Right now, I just want you to practice being able to conjugate verbs. So, you're doing the side that says to laugh. You're doing side one. There's 2 sides, and you're gonna do you have it? Okay. You might get a good part of it done. You've got 5 minutes. So you're gonna conjugate to laugh. This one, it says 12 verb tenses. So you're gonna conjugate to laugh, and this time you're going to use a pronoun. And you've got to pay attention to this.
I got were and are as my pronouns for that. Like were have and are pronouns.
They're not pronouns.
I mean,
So if you just said like
Helping
I laugh.
verbs.
yeah, so like I said
So-
they are laughing.
So let's do the first one, they laugh. Third person plural is they. So that's going to be your pronoun in this first section. So present simple, they laugh. Present perfect. Now you've got to look back on the sheet I gave you. It's a form of to have plus the past participle. They have laughed. Present progressive is a form of to be
They are.
plus the participle. They are laughing. And then perfect progressive puts those together. They have what, John Carter? They have been laughing. So when you look on this sheet, it tells you exactly how to do it. So you might have to refer to this. The more you do it, believe it or not, the easier it becomes. Look at the second one, to complete in second person singular. What is second person singular? You. And then the third one, to capture in first person plural. What's that pronoun? We. Okay, so you've got 5 minutes to do that. And remote learners, I want you to write at the top of this worksheet that verbs are fantastic.